Hi and welcome for this second session of our tips for health and family health. So today we will continue on the aspect of managing the stress. As you see, as you have heard on the first capsule, we have seen how the stress is embodied through the nervous system, on the central nervous system to the neurovegetative nervous system and peripheral one that have an impact on the posture of the body, on muscle chains, and if it overpasses these three views, it's tended to attack certain organs and create disease. So now that we know that 60 to 90% of all our disease come from this stress embodied, it's about time to understand very simple tips to transmute the stress and reach what we will read everywhere in newspapers, the famous resilience. This concept of resilience is very important. Resilience means to dissolve the stress or to transmute it, like in judo when we use the power for our service and not to be the slave of this pressure. So stress is not negative until we are able to transmute it. And for that, we are going to go through three ways. One which is more psychological with the concentration, imagination, another more with the emotion, and a last one with gesture. So the first one is based on the last discovery in neuroscience, and discovery about this what impact our central nervous system first. There is three entrance doors. The first, the more renowned, is with the five senses: smelling, seeing, hearing, touching, and all of that. But there is other senses like proprioception, like gravity, like pressure, like temperature. But other senses again, like more subtle perception, with what we call the electric body. We can, in the dark, we can feel if there is something because we have an electromagnetic field around us. We can feel if someone is in our back. So we have all the senses. All these senses, there is much more than five, give what we call the exteroception. So we perceive the world through that. And when it's raining, when it's cold, or if there is aggressivity towards her, a bad word received, a bad sight, someone who have a behavior that hurt us, a bad smell, whatever, we are aggressive. Our senses overreact and stress our nervous system, and it have a cascade of effects on our bodies. The second one is interoceptive. All our organs inside have some perception, and for the food, for emotion mainly. So we have this perception that comes from inside and could create some stress. So it could be chemical and it could be emotional, it could be postural too. We could feel uncomfort and feel aggressed by the inside. And the third one, in fact, is a modification of our nervous system by what we call the field of consciousness. The field of consciousness has been described like the field of the tachyon or ion. We know that the matter is now fulfilled by a matter called ion. It's a supraluminous matter which is between electron and atoms. It has been demonstrated by a physician a few decades, and now it's have many applications in the level of the physics and the mathematics, and either in astronomy. So but today on the field of consciousness, we know that the consciousness, the world of thought, feelings, ideas, has an impact on our nervous system, and this world is working with supraluminous field. When we say supraluminous, it's a vibration which is above the vibration of the light that we can perceive with our vision and eyes. But we know that when we concentrate on the light, what is a pure light, the white light that we perceive from the sun, for example, that which is there all our day long. But when we concentrate ourselves on this light, we breathe this light inside, we irradiate it on our body all around us, we can have a strong effect on our nervous system, because this light connects us to this field of tachyon or eon, where all the field of our consciousness. And when we concentrate on the light, we increase our consciousness and we transmute our thinking and our thought and our emotion to have an impact on the nervous system. In the meantime, we transmute how we perceive the world, the outer world and the inner world. I explain. More we take time to, for example, if we have an indigestion, so we have hit something bad and it's hurt, and we start to concentrate on the light, we breathe the light, this field of tachyon, and with the concentration of the light, enter our cortex and the nerve vegetative system and change the way we perceive it. So the sensors are modified by this consciousness field, thanks to the light. And so suddenly what was very nociceptive, aggressive for us, start to be much bearable. I use myself that when I go to the dentist to avoid to be shoot, and just using this, and it's worked amazingly. That's what people use when they do hypnosis, for example, to open the heart and do surgery of the open heart. So this field of the consciousness can completely transform how you perceive the outer world and the inner world. Meaning that if someone is very aggressive toward you and you take a step back at work, you go in a place more quiet and you just breathe the light for a couple minutes, suddenly you change how you perceive it. Someone who was yelling on you at home or at work or in family or your kids, you perceive suddenly differently. And instead to be aggressed by the cry or the screaming of a newborn, suddenly you can bear that because you have perceived your sensors thanks to this electromagnetic field and this tachyon field. So this is the first things to do in any difficult situation. Change your mind, change your nervous system, and either instead to wait, you have a conflict or a problem every day, couple times a day. When you wake up, when you go to bed, and when you take a pause, you can take 5, 10, 30 breathing of that and embody these lights and modify your perception. So you start to change your consideration of life and how you consider life. Life will answer to this consideration. So because we change our electromagnetic field, so the wave we emitted, so people start to behave differently on us. So it's another very good things to understand with this practice. And there is some many research. This is in French story, but it's about the superluminous medicine or the superluminous human. So many researchers today understand this power amazing of concentrating yourself on the light, breathing in, let it penetrate everywhere, every cell of your body, and change completely how you perceive the world and how you consider. And it changes eventually your level of consciousness. You start to perceive the world with much more awareness of the essence of the others, of the tree, of the nature, of everything. You start to keep the essence, this luminous essence which is everywhere. So in this way we enter to modify and make our perception much more light, not heavy, and light in the way that it transmutes the senses. The second things to do to manage your stress is to work with your emotion. To work on the emotion is very simple. But first I introduce you something which is much more popular, called the cardiac coherence, the heart coherence. So this heart coherence is based on something very simple. It's to concentrate on your heart and to breathe. Like if you want to breathe in your heart, and after that you can breathe in your brain and several other organs to synchronize the organs by the breathing. When you do that, you calm all the wave, all the frequencies of the neurovegetative system. And the neurovegetative system holds the emotion in us. When we are stressed, we block the neurovegetative system to be in a reactive mode, fight, flight, or freeze. So we tend to retract our vessels, and we have sedation. We are all the effect of the stress between the adrenal glands and hypophysis axis, and we are in this reactive mode that make hurt people. It's very instinctual. According to where we come from, we have certain instincts, but instincts never help in a relationship. It helps to survive when we are in front of a bear, but for humans it just creates more mess and difficulty in your life. So to be able to manage better the stress, we have to manage our emotions. When there is very negative emotions towards you, or that you emit it towards people, you can change that by cultivating moments inside you, taking a moment out of the stress, and start to concentrate yourself by the breathing eventually, but much more simple and more efficient. Pick up a quality you like, any quality that creates emotion, kindness, tenderness, forgiveness, indulgence, courage, nobleness, integrity, name it, mercy, and you concentrate on this quality, and you breathe it, you bath yourself with this emotion until you experience it. As soon as you experience any emotion, they are all the same effect on our neurovegetative system. It's vasodilated all the vessels, it vasodilated, it expand all your organs, cells, and you start to feel good. As soon as you feel good, your perception of emotion change, and you literally embody this emotion. You become more kind, you have more mercy, you have more integrity, you have more honesty, you have more courage, because emotion empower us. Emotion are the real power. So when you're able to develop this emotion by yourself, you master any situation, and you can master your stress and dissolve it. Of course, when you're in the fire, in the turmoil, it's not easy. But if you train every day, first the light, second pick up an emotion with a quality, 1, 2, 3 quality, whatever, it could be just one, the one that you need the more. It could be joy, it could be grace, it could be humility. Usually they are linked to a quality. Quality is very linked to emotion. Could be courage, and so you pick one and you just let you embody by that until you feel that there is a flow of warmth in your body. As soon as you feel suddenly expansion and like a flow tingling in your body, you have really hit and experienced the emotion enough that you change the perception of your nervous system and your hormonal system. So your body behaves differently, and you remove this negativity that hurts now or later your body. And so we ended with the third action. The third in fact is action. The third level to master the stress and keep the healthy body is gesture. Gesture are various. One of the gesture could be the heart coherence, breathing, and concentrate yourself. But it could be, so breathing, you can do that many times during the day. Either if you don't concentrate on your heart, on other organs, you can just take a few moments and have deep breaths, hold your breath a moment, just to stop the flow of the stress. You can, of course, have walk in nature, but the idea with gesture is to change the rhythm of your gesture. More we are stressed, more we have stroboscopic, and we have not a nice gesture. So when you are either during the stress, to oblige you to do an harmonious gesture. It could be to put your hair gently. It could be to change your posture and be more center. And so anything which is more beautiful, more nice for the vision, nice to see, immediately creates a change in your peripheral nerves and harmonize and release the stress that you can send in this part of your body. So we see with the light, central nervous system and hormonal system, with the emotion, with the quality, the emotion, the same thing in your heart, and with all the qualities. Now with gesture we are going to have an effect on the peripheral nervous system and our posture. Many ways to do it. Just do a gesture that you used to do. Put the table, move a chair, dress yourself, walk, and suddenly you concentrate to have a beautiful way to walk, like a model, or like a knight, or like a princess, and you walk for 1, 2, 3 minutes like that. You change all the electromagnetism of your peripheral nervous system. To have an harmonious gesture, manage the stress which is all around the peripheral. But you could have other gesture, of course, which is the tone of your voice. You have a conflict with someone, change the tone of your voice. It's an action. You don't need to do psychology to try. Usually it gets worse when you try to interfere to fix problems. Just change the tones, change the emission of your eyes. Send beautiful vision. Look at the person like if you admire the person. The tone we talk about, change your posture, breathe differently, calm your arms, do things that make you feel more quiet. As we see in the ancient, many people do Tai Chi yoga for that, but you could use your daily life to do very simple gesture with that in mind. So with these 3 steps, you can master any problems that make your life completely upside down, do resilience with that, and use finally these problems to work on yourself and to be a better person, to perceive life more nicely, either if it's ugly around you, either if it's aggressive. Use this stress to do work on yourself and be much more healthy whatever happens. So when you understand that, you can use that to avoid to be sick, but you could cultivate that every day to become more and more healthy and be able to let your consciousness be emanating through your body, irradiating through your presence with the other, and for your own wellness and happiness mainly. So thank you for listening. Bye.